What's up YouTube? It's no longer Alpha DX. Today it's just me, Darryl. So I'm rebranding the channel. I'm changing it back to my own name because I'm gonna do more of the talks by myself without any fitness related stuff that much. Maybe once in a while I'll just post a couple of like fitness videos, but mainly it's gonna be talking about business and investment. Therefore, let's go. What's up YouTube? It's Darryl here, and today I'll be talking about a personal story of mine. I guess you guys like personal stories. I have my ID here, so if you guys don't know what this is, it is every Malaysian will have this as their identity. This is an IC, okay? So every Malaysian will have this, and the driver's license, of course. And I'm turning 24 this month, and I'm still using my 12-year-old picture, which is very very bad because I think if I get stopped by police, I'll probably have to pay a fine. I'm gonna like I'm gonna update this soon, but I don't want to let this go because there's too many memories in this, and changing it makes me feel like I lost a part of my life. I guess you guys are wondering why I have such a huge difference. If okay, now I just show you guys now. Right, this was me at 12 years old. 12 years old. Me at 12 years old was so different from me now. Before that, honestly, when I was young, I always just thought of like life as an imagination. I had this very I knew that I had a very strong sense of imagination at a very young age because I really could imagine stuff, and that's what probably helped me out further in my studies and all. I had a very bad down point at a certain time, and I was so lost. The problem is, sometimes when parents are too busy doing work, it's a bit hard for a kid to find his own strengths and weaknesses at a really young age. It's very common these days because there's overriding of information every single place you turn. You know, there's so many things to choose from, and the problem is it's so hard to choose. That's a very big problem. Maybe not in our parents' day or our grandparents' day, but today it's a huge problem. And it's really hard for parents to solve it as well. But with a bit of time and a bit of guidance, it should improve the quality of it. Unfortunately, it was not easy for me when I was young because my parents were too busy, and I don't blame them because they had to work, you see. Therefore, I grew up, my mother tongue is English, and my parents put me in a Chinese school at 6 years old. 6 years old, I was in the Chinese school, purely Chinese, meaning that they do not speak a word of English. It's not as if like they speak English and Chinese. No, this is like purely Chinese. Like they probably don't even know how to say like my name is something something. They just know how to say 我的名字是 yeah, that's it. You know what I mean? Like that's how Chinese it is. Even the teachers have problems with English. I still remember my teacher saying like it's pronounced as beehive. And I said no, it's not. It's beehive. He said don't argue with me. She just scolded me, and then I got caning after that. You know, okay, yeah, Chinese schools in Malaysia you get caning, like with a cane, with an actual cane, and to top it off, they wrap some tape, duct tape at the end, so the hit gets to you much more and a much more painful, or gives you a much more painful sensation. It's only game. Anyway, back to the topic. Yeah, I was dumped in the Chinese school. It was really difficult at that time. I couldn't speak Chinese. I couldn't learn Chinese. The reason to that is the teachers were so close-minded. I told them that I was an English speaker. I needed to translate the meaning into English for me to understand, but they kept on saying I can't. I have to buy a Chinese to Chinese dictionary instead of using a Chinese to English dictionary, which doesn't make any sense to me. So I kept on memorizing stuff. That's probably why I'm so good at memorizing things, is because I was forced to memorize things that I could not have any syntax or any definition behind it, you know how hard that is? Because like you're literally remembering it as a pattern, like all those Chinese words and those the pronunciation of it, when you can't even understand the meaning. There were every week you have 3 days where you have to do a 默写. 默写 is whereby you have to remember the whole essay and then write it all out. And I don't even know what it means, so it's 10 times harder for me because I don't know what it means. I'm just writing out random words that is in a certain pattern. And then there is things here. That one is a slightly easier, but sometimes it's hard as well because they say the word out and you're supposed to write the word out. And some Chinese words, as you guys know, is pretty tough. It's quite complicated, you know. So I struggled a lot there, and I didn't really get good grades. Besides my English, of course, because the English is freaking easy. Other than that, everything else was in Chinese, maths, science. Therefore, it's really, really hard for me to catch up, and I really didn't even have time to think of like what I'm good at or what I'm not good at, what kind of hobbies I would like doing. I had no clue. I did not have any hobbies. I did not play any sports. I did not do any extracurricular activities, and it was horrible. I was completely lost. I still remember it was so funny. There was one time because our class was the best class for basketball, but so happened they replaced those 3 best players with me and 2 other guys because those 3 players got punished that day, and me and the 2 other guys, we could not play basketball. I didn't even know the rules of basketball. I didn't know that there's like traveling, there's like all these different rules.
One legger, you drained it.
So I literally just took the ball and I just walked, and then I got fouled, and then I still remember the score. It was like 120-0. We didn't even score one single ball that entire game, which was so embarrassing. I still remember, so embarrassing. Anyway, back to the story. I was really lost for many, many years. Even 13 years old, after the UPSR is an exam where you take at you're 12 years old. You move to another school, and this time my parents sent me to a private school. Yeah, I know what you guys think, like, oh, private school, rich kid. No, actually my parents were really struggling at that point of time because my dad was not financially stable yet. There was a lot of business because he just started his business at that time, so it was a bit hard. When I was in the private school, everything was so different. Everyone was rich, and when I look at the school that I was before, it was a government school. It was such a huge leap, and it was a bit shocking, and it was very, very tough being so pressured in that school. All the guys, and that time I was so naive. At that age, you know, you kind of are naive, thinking, why is it that this guy looks like crap but still can get girls? I did not know the reason. Honestly, I did not know. I'm not faking it. I really did not know. He was rich, but I did not know that. I couldn't understand why. I was thinking that maybe he's really nice, maybe he's really funny, but no, he wasn't both as well. Maybe he can't be good looking because he's definitely not good looking, but he gets the girls, and he gets them very, very easily. I'm thinking to myself, how? I noticed he always buys food for her, but I still didn't think that was a factor to why girls would like him. And it was so ridiculous. Then I found out that he was rich, and then I found out that girls liked rich guys. That was when I found out. Can you believe that at 13 years old? Maybe there are other people that find it out at 13 years old, but it was a bit shocking for me because I found out at 13 years old at that school. And the cars they were driving, I did not know what was a Bentley. I did not also know what was a Mercedes. I did not know what was a Porsche. I did not know what was a Rolls Royce. To me, do you know what cars that I think rich people drive? A Toyota and a Honda. That is what I thought rich people usually drive. I couldn't even get to the level of BMW and all that, even though those are not like the super expensive cars. That's how naive I was, and I was completely lost in the school. I did not study because the teachers there were absolutely horrible. They don't teach you crap. There's people in class encourage, each other to do dumb things like chit chat, gossip, gamble, all those kind of stuff. Dating, like guys were like flirting with girls, making out in class. And then I obviously at that time I looked like crap, as you can see, as you can see, as you can see. Yeah, at that time I looked like crap. You might think that 13 years old I would have changed a bit. No, honestly, I didn't change much. I did not change much. Yes, I started wearing colored contact lenses, which was so embarrassing because at that time I was so desperate for attention. I did not have any attention at all, and it was so sad. I wore colored contact lenses, one green, one blue. Can you imagine that? I'm not even wearing like two blues. I'm wearing one green and one blue. Look ridiculous. If you ask for a photo of that, I don't think I have any photos at that time because that was purely a horrible time. 13 and 14 I was in a private school, and then one day I came to a realization that this is all not going to work out, because one day my dad just like came at me, and then he just like screwed me over. He just told me like, dude, because what I did was I wanted to join a gym. I wanted to lose some weight and get thin and start working hard and all that. But I went to my dad. I said, I want to join a gym. Can I join a gym? He was like, no. You join this, you fail. You join this, you gave up. You join this, you are absolutely just useless. There's nothing that you can do to change it. So why waste time? I was like, whoa, what do you mean by that? Then the whole night I was thinking. I was like, oh. Everything kept scrolling through my mind. So I decided, you know what? I'm just gonna lose weight from home. I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna be disciplined. I'm gonna really do it this time. I'm gonna write it down. I'm gonna finish this time. So I did it. I took out a book. I wrote it down day one, and then I went to look up some videos. And so happened I found this guy, Vince Del Monte. He's not famous now, but he wasn't really famous. But so happened I found him, and he inspired me so much. I saw his transformation and all that, and I was like, yeah, you know what? It's time. Let's do it. I dieted. I worked out super hard, like crazy, like 3 hours per day at home. I couldn't even do a single pull up, so I hung on the bar. I took a stool and went up the bar, did the decline, did a lot of things like sprinting and all, and then I dieted. I lost the weight within 3 months, and I could see like my biceps coming out, my chest coming out, and I was like really excited. So I told my dad, you see, I did it. So can I join a gym now? He said, yeah, sure, you can. So I joined the gym, and then I told him one thing. I said like, it was December at that time. I said, it's time for me to change the school, because I don't think I can go on like this. I'm not learning anything. I'm failing most of my subjects, and some of the objective questions I'm literally just circling all C just for the sake of it. I'm not even thinking. I'm just literally circling C C C C C. So happened I passed, which is weird. But still, it wasn't learning. I all of a sudden I came to an awakening what school was for. Because honestly speaking, a lot of kids and a lot of people honestly don't know what school for. They think school is just to get this certificate and get out, and then only think of what to do. But it's wrong. School is for you to learn, and learning is not from memorizing shit. It's from actually like learning things. I told him, to change this to a homeschool. In Malaysia, homeschool is literally like centers in a shop lot. Some of them can be big, some of them can be small, but the one I went to was pretty big. It was a homeschool, and that point of time, that was when my life became sort of good. From that point onwards, it became very good. And too good, too fast, always a problem. My life became really good because one, I was thin. All of a sudden, I became like a guy that's transformed or came out from the Captain America machine. At that time, I was really ripped as well. And I was like super shocked. I was surprised. I was like, this is the first time people gave me so much attention because I went to a school. I had an earring, which is not common there at that point of time, and I was thin. I was different because I was more rebellious, whereas in that school people were more complying and they were more, like goody two shoes. I was more rebellious. I was like a devil coming into heaven. That's what they always called me, like a devil coming into heaven. And my name is Darryl. I went in there. Surprisingly, my grades became super good. I got A's all, like for every single subject, and I studied super hard. And I went to gym regularly on a daily basis. And that point of time, my life changed. I was joined extracurricular activities. I joined sports. I was like the popular guy for the first time, from an unpopular piece of crap to a popular guy. That was really shocking to me, and I felt really good. From that point onwards, I went to college, and I scored really good as well. I was a year earlier than everyone else. I did get expelled from that school, just so you guys know. I did get expelled because of dumb reasons like eating in class, having long hair, not wearing school uniform, and consistently not wearing school uniform, talking back to teachers, but that was in the reasons. But I don't remember talking back to any teachers. I never talked back to any teachers, honestly. Maybe from my point of view, maybe from their point of view, I did talk back to them. I don't know. But anyway, I got expelled. And then I studied on my own. I self-studied and then went to the British Council to do my O-levels. And I passed and got, I forgot my grades then, but it was okay. It was pretty good. And then I moved on to college. And after college, I went to university in London. That was my downfall once again, because everything was going so smoothly. I went to college, I got a ton of girls, and my grades were pretty good. And then I went to university all alone in London without any help, and I'm completely from a dependent state to an independent state. From a naive kid going overseas by himself is not a good idea. A lot of things I didn't know. I got ripped off. I got addicted to gambling. I binged on the food every single day. I didn't know where to buy good and cheap food, so I bought like overly priced food. I didn't know where to get a job. I did not get a job. I spent time in the poker society, gambling. I went to casinos after my birthday because I was 17 then. In UK, you can go into casinos at 18 years old. I was not even 18 yet. My birthday was in November. I reached there in July, so I had to wait around 4 more months. But then in school, it's fine. You can play poker and you can gamble all you like. But going to a casino, you need to be 18 years old. And drinking, you need to be 18 years old. So I had to wait. So once my birthday came on the day itself, I went to gamble. I went to play poker, I went to play blackjack, baccarat, all those stuff. Anyway, my life was kind of a downhill then, and that time I had my ex-girlfriend as well, and she was in Malaysia, I was here. Things didn't really work out because, it's kind of hard for long distance relationship. At that point of time, I had a different awakening as well. The second year I went back, because I knew the first year I was just spending money in strip clubs, spending money on clubbing, spending money on gambling. I knew that there was a problem there. Next year, I started really focusing on my studies. I worked part-time as a bartender. And then I went on to doing assignments for China students. A lot of Chinese students go to United Kingdom and they can't speak a word of English. So I helped them do some essays. I earned a lot of money from that. Honestly, per essay I could earn around two to 400 pounds. And that's the truth, okay? I seriously did that. I tutored my friend's daughter, and I earned another side income from there as well. I tutored her mathematics. I did quite a number of things, honestly. And that was pretty good for me at that time. But then I didn't know how to invest yet. So my money was just kept to do these tattoos, because these tattoos are not cheap, okay? These tattoos are this one is like 15,000 ringgit, which is around like 2,000 pounds. At that time, of course, it's not cheap for me. I used the money. Besides that, I used the money pretty wisely. I was still a bit addicted to buying branded stuff. So yes, I did splurge once in a while, but I did not touch my parents' money, the one that they gave me for my allowance. I did not touch it. I was working 6 days a week. I was using the money that I earned to spend, and also I was studying really hard in the train station, in the tubes. Tubes is the trains, the subways. I was studying in the tubes because it was like 1.5 hours to get to the city and 1.5 hours back. So I had a lot of time to study. I improved my studies on the second year. I got some savings and I started learning different skill sets. But the most important thing is I started joining the Fake Guru Club. That means not joining them to become a fake guru, but I was learning from them because at that time, still naive, but I had money. So first person I saw was Tim Han. Tim Han is a guy that's a life coach, and I saw like, wow, he's living such a good life. I mean, he has a Rolex at like 20 years old. He is like, I mean, I was pretty naive, okay? Don't judge me for that. I was pretty naive, so I joined his course. I had webinars and listened to him talking about how to wake up, how to take cold showers, how to improve your daily life in order to become the optimum version of you. It was a horrible experience because at that time I was fooled. I was like, wow, this is my road to success. But then again, when I actually graduated and I actually looked for a job and I got a job as a banker, I noticed that all those things are crap. All things are bullshit. They don't even help you a single bit. Just like a motivation for you to think like, oh wow, this thing helps me. Therefore, a placebo effect comes into me and then I feel like, oh okay, I can do better. It's all a placebo. It's all a placebo. So don't get fooled by that. Don't waste your money on fake guru courses. Just letting you guys know. I was a banker for a couple months, probably half a year. Then I moved on to trying to be an insurance agent, but I failed. I just did it for a month, and then I applied the job to Singapore to become a personal trainer. And that point of time was another peak of my life. It was amazing. I felt great. I felt absolutely fantastic. I was earning a lot. It was fun job. It was amazing. I could buy branded stuff once again, and then I learned how to invest, which was amazing because I took all the money I earned and I was earning quite a lot. I invested it, and then that's where I started investing and accumulating a bit of money. But the problem was I realized that this kind of job is not for me. I can do it, but I'm just delaying my path to being an entrepreneur. Because my initial plan was to get a lot of network from there, because the gym is in Orchard and a lot of people are high ranking people, fund managers, corporate bankers. I got a lot of contacts from there, and one guy, I got his contact and he was the director for 𝐂𝐴𝐴 Group. 𝐂𝐴𝐴 Group is the owner of Gucci, Cartier, Saint Laurent, all those branded companies, and he offered me a job. So yeah, I took it. I was like, yeah, sure, why not? I mean, pay is not bad as well, and I don't have to work like 12 hours per day, because personal training, yeah, the job is good from the start, but when you have to work consistently with no end and you don't see a future in it, then of course you want to change out. I went to that job and I got fooled so badly. Probably wasn't his fault. It's probably my fault for being so naive as well. That job was a door-to-door sales job, selling sunglasses, branded sunglasses to shops, B2B. You might think that's fun, but wait till you see what it actually is. I had like 3 bags that were 3/4 the size of me, or maybe even half the size of me if it's 2 bags. 3 bags is 3/4 the size of me, and I had to take it to shops with a cab. Of course, a cab is paid for, and I need to present to them one by one. Okay, this is the newest launch. It's from the newest season. Here are the newer season models. Pick one, and if you want, then we can restock for you. Dude, it was such a horrible job. I could not believe I actually entered it, because when I was listening to his pitch to me to get the job, I did not imagine it this way. I thought like, oh, okay, it's a sales job, so probably I'll just invite them over to the showroom, because we had a very, very nice showroom, and our office was so nice. It was literally like in front of Marina Bay Sands. It was Sentinel Tower. If you guys know where Sentinel Tower is, you guys know that that's a building where all the high net worth people are at. So I got fooled for that, and I hated the job. I quit within 3 months. And then I came back here and I started my entrepreneurial journey. So that is all. That's all kind of like a brief explanation of my story, so that all you guys know. I'm sure a lot of you guys are curious, where am I from, what's my background. I did try to do CFA, I'm not gonna lie. I did go sign up for the Chartered Financial Analysis course. I did not get any tuition for that, and unfortunately I failed because I took it within 6 months as well. I have no accounting background, I have no finance background at that point of time, and I did not start investing yet, so I was pretty naive to take a CFA without any background at that time. Therefore, after that, I started learning more. When I went to Singapore, I started learning a lot about finance and investment, and that's why I'm willing to share with you guys now, because I know the feeling of not knowing anything. You don't know what questions to ask, you don't know how to start, you don't know what's a good investment, what's a bad investment, and I know the feeling of being completely lost and empty. And when I learned that, when I got all the knowledge, I knew that because I got it the hard way, I had to ask so many people, I had to trial and error so many things. It would be good if I can just share it out and give it to you guys in the most layman's terms, the most simplest forms, where you guys can absorb, and also try to make it entertaining, so that you guys will stay from the start to the end of the video and learn a thing or two. So that's why, and that is how I started this channel. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching my video. I hope you guys disregard all the fitness videos that I have in the past. I'm switching it up. This is a new journey and something that you guys might actually enjoy. Fitness maybe it's not for me to do videos. I guess some of you might like it, but unfortunately I'll be doing less of that now. Now I'm on personal finance, business, entrepreneurship, and investment. And anyways, thank you guys so much for watching my video. I hope you guys like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, Darryl Boo, no longer Alpha DX, Darryl Boo, and hit the notification button so that you can keep track of my next couple of videos. I'll be posting a lot more in this couple of weeks, because it's now CMCO anyways. And I want to put a computer in my office as well, in the cafe, so that I can edit my videos there, which will, help me out quite a bit, save me a lot of time. But currently, I'm trying to not spend so much on my expenses, so I'm gonna wait it out. Anyways, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.